So for more on the economy, China's economy that is, we're joined by Gong. He's a professor at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing. John, thank you for joining us. Now, COVID, of course, was a roadblock in the Chinese economy. How are things improving now?
Well, things are gradually coming back. I think one thing I would like to mention is that historically, this pandemic has lasted for a very long time, almost 3 years, and as a result, in my view, the recovery also should take some time. Actually, I mean, we see some initial signs early in the year of strong recovery, and then it tapers off a little bit, and now I think it's coming back again. And it's all quite expected in my view, because a lot of people's income has been affected over the last 3 years, especially I think people, sort of on the lower strata of the society. These people, living on meager incomes, I mean, they don't have the money to spend. But as the economy gradually improves, there are clear signs that consumption is coming back. And coupled with the long weekend right now, this is a very good sign that the consumption is indeed coming back. And I hope this can be more sustainable over the rest of the year and into next year as well.
And how is the jobs market at the moment, especially in terms of youth unemployment? What measures has China put in place to help boost those employment rates?
Yeah, so the youth unemployment rate, in my view, the statistic itself is actually quite misleading. Initially, the data is collected from universities and colleges, and basically it's reflecting the rate of employment at the time the students leave the college and university campus. And of course, it's going to be, a lot of people who haven't settled on a job yet. And over time, these people will be absorbed into the job market, into the labor market. But that's actually not reflected. So I think, in the past, we have seen a lot of reporting and discussions and hubris, actually, about the high unemployment rate among youngsters. So in my view, that statistics is misleading in the first place. I think as the economy gradually recovers, as consumption goes up, which feeds back into the economy, there will be more jobs created. So I think it's going to be taking some time that the labor market is going to gradually recover, and I think we're on that track right now. And just be patient. Things will be much better.
What about international investment? Of course, China is depending a lot on the tech sector for future growth. But how can China ensure international investors continue to do business in China and also, of course, with China?
Yeah, that's a huge challenge in my view. I mean, actually, I worry even more about companies operating in China, continue to cooperate in China, and not leaving China, more than attracting more investment from overseas. There's a larger background that this thing is against. That is the Sino-U.S. competition, which is regrettably initially unilaterally by Washington. So with the desire in Washington to interfere in the market to somehow whip corporate America's operation in China away from China, to source products and production from other alternative countries, inevitably, it's going to be affecting China's ability to attract foreign direct investment. I think this country doesn't need, it's not in dire need of capital. I think what it really needs is investment in emerging technologies. Whether the capital is domestic or international really doesn't matter. And I think there's still a lot of supply of capital in terms of chasing good projects in China. I think that really counts. That's the ultimate goal.
Talk a little bit about the industries where China has brighter prospects, sectors including electric vehicles, smartphones, green technology, for example. Where are the areas that there's a little bit more hope for?
Yeah, these are the industries that are really, really hopeful. I mean, the Chinese companies or in the domestic industries are extremely competitive in these areas, and I think also they represent really the forefront of technology advancement right now. Especially the industry you're talking about, automobile, for example, electric cars. Again, there's an issue about the Chinese companies becoming increasingly dominant in foreign markets. oftentimes perceived as another version of the photovoltaic industry, right? And it's running into political backlash in some countries, particularly in this case in the European Union. Von der Leyen has announced that it's going to initiate investigation into state subsidy and state assistance possibilities in the auto industry in China regarding electric cars. This is very regrettable, but it's actually within my expectation. With the Chinese companies ever expanding more aggressively overseas, there's going to be a political backlash, and I think the issue is that how the two sides, the governments on the two sides, can come to a mediated solution and to come to good faith negotiation to resolve the problem. I mean, industry like automobile has a very long, deep value chain. It concerns a lot of companies, concerns a lot of employment in Europe. So, in my view, this is more than just an economic issue. It's also a political issue. It has to be solved by the two sides.
All right, John Gong, really appreciate your insight. Professor at the University of International Business and Economics in Beijing.
Thank you.